Hey everybody, so I've wrapped up the test drive of the 2016 GMC Sierra SLT, which is the package right below the Denali package. I drove the 2017 Ford Super Duty King Ranch Edition, and also drove the Ram Tradesman Edition 3500 dually, as well as the Laramie Longhorn 2500 edition that I'll be posting here soon. I didn't do quite as an extensive walk around of the frame and some of the chassis components on that particular vehicle, only because when I did the Tradesman 2500 walk around, I spent quite a bit of time on the frame and suspension of that truck, and the 2500 Laramie Longhorn really has no difference there, so I didn't think that you all would want to see the exact same footage. I did take some footage of it though, so if you're looking for that, it'll be there. So the video that I posted on the 3500 Ram Tradesman Edition, I actually did a frame thickness test on that specific truck, and for some reason it got omitted from the video, I guess during editing. So I'm going to throw it in here real quick so you have an opportunity to kind of see what the results were of that. Zero it out. And it is 0.40 inches thick. I believe it was 0.140 inches thick. So hey everyone, so you're in for a treat today. I'm going to be test driving this 2017 Ram Laramie Longhorn 2500 Cummins powered four-wheel drive truck. Beautiful color truck. This particular truck is equipped with push button start, as well as proximity detection keyless entry. So basically I'm going to lock the truck, press the button twice, and watch it start up for me. The frame's not really any different than the other frames of the trucks that I've tested, because it does have the fully boxed high-strength steel frame. This particular truck is equipped with LED rear tail lights, which is really nice. Lock the truck. It does not have a slow opening tailgate, but again, the tailgate on these trucks are really light, and that's partially because it's got this rod right here, which acts as a torsion bar to help you lift it and keep it from slamming too hard. Four-wheel drive truck. This particular truck does have the coil sprung rear suspension. 5-link suspension in the rear. Because it is a single rear wheel truck, you're going to get this nice step right here again to help you climb over the back if you're going to access a toolbox or something in the bed of your truck. It's actually really nice. I think all manufacturers should put that on their truck. Again, proximity key, so if I just come up here and I press that button, it'll lock the truck. If I grab the handle, it'll unlock the truck. 8-lug wheels. This is an 18-inch wheel package. Here's your 3-link suspension up front. Fully boxed frame, of course. Here's from the front of the truck. You can see that it has the LED light strip along with the bi-projector halogen light bulb housings. It's kind of a next generation halogen bulb that they use in these trucks though, so it's significantly brighter than your traditional halogen headlights. As you can see, this one does have front parking sensors all the way around it and fog lamps. And here is the AAM rear axle on this Laramie Longhorn. Where these trucks really shine on these Laramie Longhorn packages are the interiors. They are simply beautiful. Real wood treatment all the way throughout. I mean, it's really nice. You get these really cool saddlebags on the back. The only thing I've noticed is you don't get a real flat center here, but it is pretty large space, however. Cup holders down at the bottom here. Rear seat with 2 additional cup holders, which is really nice. Nice large headrests, very tall. Rear AC vents, rear heated seats, and a 12-volt DC power supply for the back. Some people may not like the color of this interior, but I actually love it. I think this interior looks gorgeous. And here's the front. As you can see, heated and cooled seats, or ventilated seats. You get these nice Longhorn embroideries on them, or nice patches that are actually stitched in. Nice stitching on the seats with this tubing. That looks real nice. This does have 2 glove boxes. And actually, there's a lot of room in this top glove box. So I have to say that on GM and Ford, they don't give you a lot of room in the top glove box, but this definitely gives you a good amount of space. Nice large center console area. And here's the 8.4-inch Uconnect system. It's actually really nice. They use a beautiful dash and gauge setup up front here versus some of the other trucks that don't really put a lot of effort into making this spot look real nice. You can even see around the bezel there where they put a design. So now that we have the truck started, I wanted to show you something kind of interesting. This entire area right here and right here, these are all LCD screens. So it's not just a little box screen in the center like you might get on the Tradesman Edition. Check it out. It's an 8.4-inch Uconnect screen. It's a very large screen for any type of system. Really, even in luxury cars, they're not getting that large in most cases. And the nice thing about the particular screen in here is that it's also tall. It's not just super wide like a lot of the screens you see. It actually has a good height to it. Button knob construction, they feel pretty nice. It's a nice setup. And of course, because on your 3/4 ton and your 1 ton trucks, they still give you this steering column shift. Whereas if you go to a 1/2 ton truck, it's going to be a knob or a dial up here that you actually shift into gear. So hey folks, I'm now leaving the parking lot here, and I'm driving kind of through the same conditions that I took the other truck, just to kind of get a feel for it. It's definitely a smoother ride than a dually, but that's kind of obvious because it is designed to be. This particular truck is a 2500 and it does have the coil spring suspension in the back, so it does give me an opportunity to really see what the difference is between the suspension on this truck per the suspension on a dually, because it is a completely different setup. So that being said, once I get out here on the road a little bit, I can give you a little bit more feedback as to how I feel about it. I can honestly say there's far more separation or isolation from the road. This truck feels very, very similar in ride comfort to the F250 King Ranch that I drove. Very similar. There's very few differences in how it seems to be taking bumps and handling them. And that's a good thing. So both this truck and the King Ranch that I drove are very comfortable trucks. I would also say this truck sounds a little quieter than the Tradesman Edition that I drove. So this particular truck also has the 68 RFE transmission, because on the 2500 series truck, you're not able to get them equipped with the Ison transmission. At least that's what they're telling me. On this particular truck, you can get a maximum of 800 horsepower and 370 pound-feet of torque. This truck has good riding characteristics. It really feels planted and solid. And again, I have to attribute that to the box frames that these are coming on. It's definitely a luxury truck, though. Can you still use them for work? Of course you can. You're going to get the same bed as any of the trucks, regardless if it's a work truck all the way up to a Laramie Longhorn. So don't assume just because somebody wants a comfortable interior that they have to get a work truck, or they have to get a luxury truck, or just because they want a work truck that they have to go to a lower package. The fact is, a lot of people who own ranches, own businesses, own properties, they drive these trucks, and they use them every day, and they do the same things with these trucks that folks do with their work trucks. From a traveling perspective, though, I would much rather spend a lot of time in this truck. This truck is just, it's really nice, and just like the King Ranch and just like a Denali, you're gonna not feel as fatigued. You're gonna have more stuff to entertain you. You have more options. It's a far more pleasant long-term driving experience versus being in a truck that is equipped with the bare minimals. Now I'm going to do a throttle response test here. I think it's probably going to be about the same, but it picks up well. It's interesting because you hear from other review channels how one is so much faster or one feels so much better, but the reality is, even the most sluggish of the bunch so far, which has been the GMC, it's still picked up well for a 3/4 ton, 1 ton truck. I mean, these trucks, with the refinement they've put into these engines, are pretty dang quick. And there's a little difference in how each of them feels between Ram, Ford, and GM. But for the most part, they all feel very capable. None of them feel as if they're going to have any type of a problem towing a fifth wheel or a gooseneck or anything heavy at all. They all have that feel of acceleration. And I know you know what I'm talking about if you've driven any type of a sports car or anything and you've given it gas and you feel it kind of pull you back in the seat. All the trucks do that. It's just where you start feeling that acceleration that's a little different amongst them. This truck actually gives you a few features that are not available on the GM truck but are available on the Ford, but are nice, such as the high center mount camera. If you want to look back in your bed, let's say you're hitching up a fifth wheel or a gooseneck and you want to be able to kind of see what that hitching process looks like, you have the ability to do that with their high center mount camera. It does have, of course, the backup camera. It's nice on this vehicle or any of the vehicles because of the large screens that they're putting on them. But overall, you get a ton of technology in these trucks now, especially if you get the higher end luxury packages. Again, man, that Cummins sounds like a Cummins. It's a much more beefier sounding diesel engine than both Ford and GM. Doesn't mean it's any better of an engine, it just means it sounds more like a diesel engine. They're all great engines now, and I would argue to say that you can't go wrong with any of the diesels in any of these trucks, at least from a modern perspective. Some people may wonder why I don't review some of the other features of the truck, like the Alpine sound system and power seats and all those other things. It's because I really don't care about those things. Yes, everybody knows that you can get higher end sound system in trucks. You can get, more features like power seats and power windows and things like that. I might point out that a truck has it, but there's so many other videos out there and reviews where people talk about those things that I just don't want to be that redundant. I want to provide you more of the capabilities of the truck. I really want to take a moment to thank Lithia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Corpus Christi, Texas for allowing me to do these reviews. They've been very cooperative, and they simply allow me to take the vehicle out and do the tests and reviews I'd like without any sales reps or anybody trying to, pressure me to say anything. So really appreciate that about working with these guys.